I've got a question to ask you. Have you ever had people talk down to you in a condescending, patronising way? And particularly when these people are your family and supposedly your friends? It's not good when that happens, is it? But the problem is, for a lot of us, our self-confidence isn't good enough for a long time. And so that you put up with it, and you will say things that you don't really mean in order to be liked, instead of standing up for yourself. You'll also do things that you don't want to do in order to be liked. And that's a terrible way to go on, but I know it happened with me, and I'm sure lots of other people have done that as well. And what you need to realise, and it took me years upon years to discover it, is that how people treat you isn't necessarily the way they feel about you. I've come to the conclusion through watching people over the years that the way people treat you is how they feel about them. And so, because they feel badly about themselves, they have to try and be better than you. And because you may have a lower self-opinion of yourself than you should have, you bend that way just to satisfy them. And it's a really weird thing, and I know that I used to do it for years. But the thing is, at some stage in your life, you'll come to terms with who you are. And the minute you do that, you'll realise what's going on. Because not everybody in your life wants you in theirs. And what I'm saying is that some people with their low esteem actually don't particularly like you because of the way they feel about themselves. Then they treat you in that way. And it's a horrible thing to contemplate, and it's not great when you realise it. I've found that when I came to the enlightenment of it, if you like, it's probably the wrong word, but when I realised, when I started to feel better about myself and started to have people who suddenly only talked to me when they wanted something, or when they bumped into me, they'd take the mickey out of me for something, or they'd rip me apart for something. And this is people that I would have thought of as friends and family. And I've been saying it a lot lately about your tribe and the people who like you come what may. And those people that are doing that to you aren't those people that you want in your tribe. And so the way I've come about it over the years is to focus on the people who care about me as much as I care about them. Because the truth is that, and I'm sure you're the same as me where this one's concerned, we care about people who don't really care about us, and we'll go out of our way to help people and to be there for them when they need you. And the truth is that you care about them, they don't care about you. But it takes a long time to realise this. And I've certainly, over the last 8 or 9 years, started to realise who some of those people are in my life. And so you have to do something about them. And you have to kind of think to yourself, I'm not putting up with this no more. And you've got to get rid of them out of your life. People that are poisonous, if you like, who leave you feeling bad. Or as they walk out of your door, you start to feel better. You know what I'm saying. But the fact is, once you start to do that, and you start to thin out the people that are in your life, you'll realise, one, that there aren't so many that like you as you think, and that those that you thought did like you didn't. And they talk about you behind your back. If you find someone who talks about people behind your back, there's a good possibility they're doing it about you as well. And so it's about, I suppose, putting your house in order and doing what's best for you. Being there for the people that are there for you. You'll know who they are, because there's going to be a stage where you realise, particularly your friends, that they're not really your friends, they're acquaintances. But because of your good nature, you've put up with it for a long time. And what I'm really saying is that for your own good mental health, you need to dump the poison out of your life. And I say poison because that's exactly what I think it is. I think that if you've got people in your life that leave you feeling bad, that leave you with a sick feeling when they say stuff that you wouldn't have expected them to say about you, they're the people that you need to dump in your life. Your people are the ones that treat you with respect at all time. They're the people who look out for you, the people who are there when you need them. And I found this out certainly when my marriage broke up back in the late 2000s. I won't say all because that's not true, a lot of my friends suddenly started walking on the other side of the road if they saw me, avoided me at all costs. And do you know what? I don't care anymore. For a long time, I used to get upset about it, but the truth is I don't care anymore. They weren't my friends, or else they'd still be around me. And I know that because there are people who are still around me who've always supported me. Recently, I talked about my friend Edmund that passed away just over a year ago. My ex-wife was his cousin. And when he got in touch with me, he said, do you know what? I know she's my cousin, but you're my friend. I don't know what happened in your relationship. I don't care what happened in your relationship. All I want you to know is that I'm not taking sides, but you're still my friend no matter what. And that was lovely to hear. And it meant the world to me. And you see, in this life, we don't have too many of those people. So they're the people we need to cherish, the people we need to care for. They're the people who care about us, because it is a two-way street. And you don't want to be wasting your life trying to accommodate people who won't accommodate you for 1 minute when times are rough. But there are people out there for you. There are people who will be with you through thick and thin. And they're the people that you need to associate with. They're the ones you need to spend your time around. They're the ones I've talked about this a lot, your supporters, the people who are behind you when you're in trouble and cheer you when you're going for something. There definitely are people there for you. What you need to do, and I know it sounds horrible, and I found this really hard myself, was saying goodbye to the people purely because of the familiarity I had with them. Because once I realised they weren't my friends really, that's all they were, was familiar to me. And it's a big thing when you It's a big thing when you make that decision, because you can be changing the habits of a lifetime and saying goodbye to people who've been friends for a lifetime. But if you're not being enhanced by your friendships with them, or your acquaintances, as I now like to call them, then really, you're best off without them. And on that note, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you next time.